Welcome back to Raise the Praise, where we choose to reclaim our joy and thrive in every area of our lives. That's physically, mentally, financially, and of course, spiritually, to do all that God is calling us to do with a spirit of excellence. Hey, faith friends, I'm your host, Jennifer Bell. I'm a wife, mom to 3 amazing human beings, a former school administrator, an entrepreneur, and an aspiring vegan. Y'all praying for me yet? Listen, I'm just here to remind you to never allow what you see, hear, feel, or even experience in life make you forget what God has promised you. He has not forgotten about you. Welcome, faith friends. Let's get ready for today's episode. I want to begin with a word of prayer for you who have landed on this podcast for however you landed here. But I want to encourage you and let you know that you can reclaim your joy and you can thrive in every area of your life. So right now, Father, I am praying for that woman, that mom, that wife, that entrepreneur, that woman who's feeling unworthy, who's masked so many different facades to just survive through the things that she's going through. I am praying for that woman in ministry who feels unseen, who is overwhelmed, full of faith. I am praying for that woman who has experienced trauma at any level to let her know that it does not matter what we see, feel, hear, or even what we have experienced. As long as we activate our faith, God is there. He has a plan for us. And Father, I thank you that your plans for us is to give us a hope and a future. I thank you that your plan for us is aligned with what you have designed our fingerprints to do. Thank you for my sister that is listening. Thank you that her needs are met according to your riches and glory. Thank you that you're giving her supernatural strength, whatever she is needing right now, nothing missing, nothing lacking, and nothing broken in her life. I believe you for it in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, everybody. Hello, my friends. I got like a teaching spirit on me today. Listen, if you like this D word, I'm telling you, I want to help you out. I'm going to help you out with 5 things you can do to conquer the D word. Y'all, it's Day Bell, and I'm on a mission to be fit for Him physically, mentally, and financially, to do all that God is calling me to do with a spirit of excellence. Now, I have a question for you. Are you on the right side of when it comes to making sure you're listening to, watching, seeing, and doing those things and actions that are going to lead you to the goals that you set for yourself? Think about all the stuff we allow to get into our eye gate, in our ear gate, in our heart gate that sabotages us from reaching our goals and moving forward. So listen, you will never always be motivated. So you must learn to be, here comes the D word, discipline. Yes, discipline in your physical, financial, and spiritual health. Let me just tell you, my mission scripture comes from 3 John 2, where God says that, "Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, even as your soul prospers." God's concerned about our health. And discipline just means training your whole behavior. It means self-control is what it means. It's kind of like, when we discipline our children, we're either teaching them to be well-behaved. I like to say this, we're teaching them to control their emotions, or we are correcting them, or better yet, showing them that there is a consequence for every behavior. So now, self-discipline means just self-control, which is truly a sign of inner strength. Self-discipline gives you the power to stick to your commitments and your decisions. It helps you to follow through with what you said you were going to do, right? Without changing your mind based on how you feel. So what happens when motivation wears off? This is where self-discipline kicks in. Example, I'm going to start this new workout Zoom before work, and it starts at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to do it. You're motivated. You're excited. You get on there and you're meeting new people and you just got it going on. I mean, come on, it's Monday, y'all. You know what happens on Mondays. We always start a new program, right? Well, or a new plan. I don't do that anymore. But what happens when the newness wears off? What happens? The motivation is gone. That motivation that was tied to that emotion of excitement, right? And you're struggling to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning now. Your body is aching. What do? That's where discipline kicks in. So I want to encourage you that you have the ability to train your brain to be disciplined. You do, because the Bible tells us so, right? Everything we need, we can find in the Word. 2 Timothy 1:7 tells us God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and of self-control, or a sound mind. So why? Why is it so hard for us to stick to the choices that we make and be focused on our goals when it comes to, being healthy in our physical, spiritual, financial health? Why is it so hard? It's hard because it's the very nature that we have to make choices that are focused on the end result rather than the easier choices. That's why it's hard. The D word is not a bad word. So almost anything you can do to better yourself or improve your life, right, requires some form of self-discipline. Think about what you've been through over the course of your life, and you've reached whatever goal it may be. It could even be going back to school. It took some self-discipline in order to actualize that goal, right? So let's quickly talk about 5 pillars that I believe that will help us when it comes to self-discipline. And I was reading this article by Steve Pavina. I think I'm saying his name correctly, but he talks about the first thing is acceptance, meaning you perceive your reality accurately and consciously. Acknowledge where you are. It is what it is, right? You got to face the man or woman in the mirror. Here is where I am. Accept it. Here's a starting point for me. And then you want to design a program or a system to improve. That's it. That's exactly what I wanted to do when I started out to lose 50 pounds. So without acceptance, you get either ignorance or denial, right? So step 1, openly accept where you are right now, whether you feel good about it or you don't. Surrender yourself to what you have to work with. Because you got something to work with, let me tell you. Maybe it's not fair, maybe it's not where you want to be, but it's a starting point and it is what it is. So accept it. Number 2, willpower. Willpower is not a bad word. People who say willpower doesn't work are trying to use it in a way that's beyond its capabilities. But it's not. Willpower simply means to set a course of action and say, engage, let's go. To apply it, you choose your objective, create a plan and attack it, right? And then execute the plan. Willpower, that's number 2. Number 3, let's go back. Well, you cannot sustain willpower. You only maintain it for a short period of time. That willpower is kind of like motivation. Motivation is not going to get you to your goal. Self-discipline is. So willpower can be short-lived, but that's okay. This is why people jump from one diet to the next and try this thing and they have FOMO over here. Your willpower is a great starting point, just like motivation. But self-discipline is going to help you to get to where you're trying to go. All right, so for instance, the objective is to lose 20 pounds. You go on a diet, you're all in the first week, but a few weeks in, You fall back to your old habits and your weight comes back. Sound familiar to anybody? Try it again with a different diet, but then the results are still the same. So you're doing this yo-yo thing back and forth, right? Willpower requires conscious focus, which is very draining and cannot be maintained for a long time. That's why you'll never be ready to do this when motivation runs out. That's where self-discipline comes in. So what do? Use willpower to make the plan. While you're all excited about doing whatever it is you're going to do to better your health, your finances, your spiritual walk, use that willpower to make the plan. Replace healthier options. Start a budget. Write out a budget. Whatever it is, the plan is, make that plan and then go and attack it. Engage. All right? Execute it. Begin today, day by day. Get up and go to the gym. Make sure you use, we like the financial piece, which was Dave Ramsey. Make sure you use your envelope system. Those things is what I'm talking about. All right, let's go on to number 3. Number 3 is hard work. You are not going to reach any goal that you seek without putting in the work. That's just the bottom line. Oprah Winfrey says it like this. She says, the big secret in life is that there is no big secret, y'all. The secret to success is there is no secret to success. Whatever your goal is, you can get there if you are willing to work. The Bible even says faith without works is dead, right? So define that. Defining hard work. Most people do what's easiest and avoid the hard work. Is that true? I used to tell myself, tell my high school students, when I was the assistant principal at the high school, I used to tell them, do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. So you got to do the hard things because there's no avoiding it. There's no getting around it. You have to do it. Play hard now, or you're going to work hard later. Versus work hard now, you can play hard later. So when you accept where you are currently, your current reality, and you want to exercise self-discipline, self-control, you understand there will be work involved. That's just the bottom line. When you're working on your mindset, where the mind goes, the body flows, right? Hard work. We can reach another level if we stop avoiding and being afraid of hard work. All right. Number four is industry. Working hard in contrast to hard work just means putting in the time. Many life tasks aren't necessarily difficult, but they are collectively required significant time investment. You're going to invest in your health, your finances, your spiritual health, one way or the other, right? So if you're not disciplined, you don't have self-discipline to stay on top of them, they can make a big mess in your life. Think about it. Think about the little things that you need to do that you keep struggling with. You're cooking, you're cleaning, your laundry, those things that you need to do, that you have to do it, y'all. If we don't pay attention to it, what happens? You don't clean your house for a week, what happens? It's the little things. If you don't do the little things over time, we say this to our kiddos, if you spend 15 minutes and clean the kitchen correctly, I'm talking, when we say clean the kitchen, that includes the countertops, that includes sweeping the floor, and maybe even mopping if necessary. But if you just put the dishes away and you don't clean the counters, you don't wipe the stove, you don't wipe down the refrigerator, whatever the case may be, over time, it's going to cause you more work and more time to get it clean. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Same thing in the workplace. So put in the time. And number 5 is persistence. You just have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. You have to maintain actions regardless of your feelings. Get your feelings out of the way. Your feelings don't get you to your goals. They don't. Don't waddle in your feelings. Be consistent and persistent. Think about those things. Think about pressing towards your goal. even when you feel like quitting. That's what persistence is. That's number 5, in order to activate self-discipline in your life, whatever area in your life that you're needing it. So when you're chasing a big goal, a dream, your motivation will wax and it'll wane like waves hitting the shore. Think about it. That wave comes, and then what happens? It just goes, right? It just goes away. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes you're almost leveled to the ground. But persistence allows you to keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't give up, because after a while, your persistence towards your goals provide the motivation needed to see the results. And guess what? Every time you hit a goal that you've been persistent with over time, it kind of jumpstarts your motivation again. And you start it over and you do it again and you do it again. You get enthusiastic about what you've achieved, your healthy behaviors. You've got a budget that you're sticking with. Your spiritual life is on point because you're feeding it what it needs. So I just wanted to share that with you guys this morning and let you know that, I'm going to kind of wrap it up with my 5 pillars, how I use these 5 pillars of self-discipline, acceptance, willpower, hard work, industry, and persistence to help me reach and maintain my weight loss goal over 6 years now. Here's where I started. Acceptance. I was sick and tired of being overweight, and my knees were hurting. And sometimes I told myself something just had to change. I accepted that. Number 2, willpower. I got a plan. While I was motivated to do something about my health, my physical health, I made a plan. You got to do it while you're excited about it, okay? And then number 3, hard work. I challenged myself to try and do just one more thing. Started out walking 15 minutes because that's all I could do before my knees would hurt. And then I would push myself, okay, Jennifer, do 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes, until I got myself up to 45 minutes walking and then going into a gym, etc., etc. That was number 3. Industry, working hard. Just put in the time and the investment. Yes, I invested in my health because believe it or not, you're going to invest in your health one way or the other. I choose to invest in my health with premium nutrition. You want information about that, be sure and drop below and I'll get that to you. But I invested in my health because I needed help. It wasn't working with just my motivation every Monday, starting a new plan. You know what I mean? And number 5, persistence and being consistent over time, maintaining that action, always engaging in what I needed to do on my plan to make sure that I reached my goals. And I didn't quit. And I haven't quit. It's a lifestyle for me now. I'll never stop thriving in my life when it comes to my physical health, spiritual health, and financial as well. Because I'm going to continue to do those things or engage in those actions that are going to keep me moving forward until I reach my goals. So it's been over 6 years now, and I've been using these 5 steps to self-discipline when it comes to my health and wellness. And you can too. So just let me know if you're needing some help with self-control, self-discipline when it comes to your physical, spiritual, financial health. Hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's see if what I do is a fit for you. Let me just tell you 3 simple steps is where I started with my plan. Then I made sure that I applied those 5 things. I accepted where I was. I had the willpower to do it and made a plan. I worked hard, right? I invested and I was persistent. And you can be as well. It's all up to you. You have self-control. The word says that. It says it in 2 Timothy. Doesn't give you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind or self-control. So don't tell me what you can't do, right? You can do anything you put your mind to. So if you need help with that, y'all know where to find me. Hey friends, thanks so much for sharing your time with me today. Real quick, before you go, if you found value in today's podcast and something resonated with you, Would you leave me a 5-star review and subscribe on iTunes? I am thanking you in advance, and I look forward to reading each and every one of your reviews. You can find me at raisethepraisepodcast.com or join my Facebook group, Choose to Praise. Until next time, remember to choose joy and raise the praise in every area of your life.